Hello, everyone. Welcome to DPA Open Mic, episode 105. So 106. Syria, as we know it, is gone forever. And Russia actually talked to the United States. And interestingly, is before Syria has collapsed, apparently it's supposed to do with some military exercise. Russia is going to fire some missiles in the Eastern Mediterranean. Clearly, there's just a cover. I think that they are just talking about, Syria, maybe the safe evacuation of Russian troops. Perhaps that's what I think. And yeah, Ukraine war is still ongoing, and I think most people don't give a shit about Ukraine now. No, because more exciting things is happening over in the rest of the world. Anyway, so what do you think of the shit show over the past few days? I don't know how to explain it, but it's a shit show. I just want to add a comment first. The way how Syria collapsed is exactly how everybody thought Ukraine is going to collapse when Russia invaded.
Yeah.
And the fact that Syria collapsed so suddenly, and like the way how people imagine Ukraine would have, is a shock because people saw Ukraine didn't collapse. And it's like we have this idea that no country don't collapse so easily. Then suddenly Syria just collapses. It's like, what? Everybody just got shocked.
Oh yeah, it's strange to me. Like, the thing I appreciate about what you do and your show is that I've got a bunch of guy friends who are reasonably informed. They stay up on the news and history, but like we truly are seeing some historical events right now, like world-changing moments. And it's like I can't get people to understand. I guess it's a fairly small audience for people who are really paying attention and actually care about moments like this. It's I'm not thrilled either way, but it's amazing to watch history being made, regime change. I mean, this is the Ba'athist philosophy goes back now over half a century or beyond, and that's the final fall of it. That's a whole I don't know what's going to evolve out of this, but I mean, you're looking at I don't know what this new Islamic fundamentalism 2.0 rebooted is going to look like, but it seems like the kindler, gentler version of Al Qaeda rebranded or something,
or ISIS. Because I did read rumors that some of these guys fighting on the HTS side, the rebel group that was not backed by Turkey, some of them seems to be used to be from the Islamic State, used to be from ISIS. So, and it's not surprising because some of because the HTS is born from Al Nusra, and Al Nusra is from Al Qaeda. So that's why when I'm doing the reporting, I say that they are US backed because there is no other way to imagine it to be otherwise. And you can see that United States is involved in this overthrow of Assad because the American backed rebels, American trained rebels actually attacked from El Taf. They go northward, captured Palmyra, and then they went to Damascus in a pincer attack along with HTS. So it's definitely Americans, not say Americans behind it, but they are definitely having a hand in it. And yeah, at least for the very least, on the bright side, the United States finally succeeded in overthrowing Assad. This is after for so long, finally.
But the leader of the organization of HTS seems to really understand PR. I mean, he's good at it because he's already saying and doing all the right things that are going to give him legitimacy to govern, and from the international community. Now, I don't know what that's going to look like in 2 years, but in the meantime,
2.0.
Yeah. I mean, but Syria has, even with all the people that have left and fled the country, it's still probably the only, with the exception of maybe Lebanon, the only diverse country in the Middle East in terms of ethnic composition. I mean, obviously Iraq has its regional, but those regional fragmentations of Iraq are pretty permanently, the lines are permanently drawn there. But in Syria, you still have a Christian village and a Shiite or Alawite village or a Druze village, or everything's fairly spread out. And I don't know if you'll see a segregation of the country or a mass exodus of Christians and Alawites, and there's going to be it was the Sunnis largely that fled, I think, the conflict the last time around. And now I think you're going to see the opposite, probably several million refugees. It'd be interesting to see how the West views that.
I think one of the interesting things that happened, during the collapse was that they entered the Iranian embassy and they destroyed the portray of Soleimani, and then it's like, it's like this group is also very anti-Iran. So it's also part of a wider conflict. Don't talk about the United States alone, but it's just like it's still a Sunni Shiite war as well. So there's a lot of facets, so many ways you can chop it, and it all makes sense.
Did you see how Israel sees the rest of the Golan Heights?
Oh, I see. When I because I don't have time to do the survey, so I just put a one-liner, like a small 3-paragraph update. I just say no, and Israel invaded Syria.
Yeah,
because I don't know how else to write it.
They took the top of Mount Hermon, and which is the highest point in that whole region. And now they're obviously not going to give that up because that's such strategic.
And HTS
ground.
Don't have the forces to defeat Israel. So no, you can defeat Syria. No, but Syria is not this so weak. Like Israel is a different story altogether. And they have to thank Israel for it, because it's Israel destruction of Hezbollah that allows them to win the war. They are definitely on the same side in a way.
Yeah, well, just getting Russia out of the region, getting Iran pushed back out of Syria and into Iraq. Israel's going to be a lot more happy with dealing with kind of those regional militia forces as opposed to having large players around. Now, Turkey,
and they kick Russia out.
Yeah, no, they didn't kick Russia out.
No, Russia is eventually out without Syria, government around.
Yeah, but they have an agreement with Turkey. They are still there, and they're going to stay there. They're going to keep their air bases active.
I thought they were withdrawing. I think the last time I
don't think so. I saw
the rumor was that they retreated to the Kurdish side of Syria for some reasons.
Maybe.
So, but I don't think they will be able to stay, because the Russia's legitimacy was with Assad. They have a disagreement with Assad about going there to help Syria, but now that Assad is gone, there's no more reasons to stay in Syria, and that allows Israel to free up like their worries. They don't have to accidentally hit Russian troops. Now they can just bombard if they want to.
So Assad is in Moscow. It's with pictures, so we know he's in Moscow.
There are pictures.
I think it's an official announcement, but I know that all the rumors was that he died in a plane crash.
No, it was bullshit. I saw the I think the plane was needed for evacuation.
Right.
It didn't crash. If you look at the 3D pattern they show of the fly route of that plane, so until it landed, it didn't look like a crash.
Maybe it turned off his transponder, right? It turned off his transponder, so that's why he's disappeared from the flight radar.
Yeah. They can put it out.
It didn't lose elevation that fast.
No.
To look like it was crashing. I agree with you.
Exactly. And it's an Ilyushin EL-76, and that plane can land everywhere. It's like the American C-17. These planes are designed to land anywhere. And the Ilyushin is a fucking big bastard that can go on the most terrible ground conditions with his eyes closed. And even if it's not really loaded, I think they evacuate in that region some people. I don't know. We don't know, and we didn't even have footage about the crash, something like that, in an occupied zone of these rebels. So, no, it didn't crash. Otherwise, we already would have.
So
go ahead, Nika.
Before Nika go, we have our guys promoting Discord, DPA Discord, and a DPA Forum. So like two different guys, two mods from two different sides of the DPA platforms. So do check it out. Nika?
Yeah, just a correction for Brandon. He said only Syria have a diverse community. Actually, if you know the Arab countries, you will see that's not true. I will give you, for example, I will start North Africa is not very, very diverse, but we had a lot of Jewish community. In Tunisia and Morocco, until now, we have a decent community, Jewish community. Egypt have like 15% of Christians. Egypt is a large country, so imagine 15% is big. I think they have 100 million population or something close. So 15% of that Christians. Iraq have a diverse communities. Shiite, some Christians, Sunni. Syria too. Lebanon. Jordanian is largely a desert, so doesn't count for me. Gulf countries, they have a large Shiite population. Yemen, they have a lot of Jews, not a lot, but proportionate to the Jews worldwide. What else? I practically mentioned all the Arab countries. So every Arab country have decent or large minorities. That's what I'm want to say.
Well, I didn't say that they were the only diverse country. I said that specifically they weren't segregated like Iraq has, a Shia region, it has a Sunni region, it has a Kurdish region. And I feel like looking at the map in Syria, it's much, even in Lebanon, you have kind of three zones where you have the different ethnic and religious groups located. But in Syria, it seemed, especially in northern Syria, it seemed like there was a lot of a Christian town surrounded by Sunni countryside or vice versa. It was kind of, it hadn't been in that situation where people had kind of forded up into their ethnic groups like in some other places, or been liquidated, as in the case of like regions where ISIS was. But I could be wrong.
You will find a lot of places. For example, you find big cities. They have a lot of diversity inside the city. Some villages or small towns, they have a large proportion of one ethnicity or another. The countryside is largely Arabic or Bedouin, something like this. But there isn't like a clear cut. Those clear cuts are recent because of some wars or some fears or whatever. But those clear cuts are like very, very. For example, in Tunisia or North Africa, I'm Tunisian, so North Africa, you cannot tell if this guy is Jew or Muslim or Christians because they speak the dialect. They are here like for hundreds of years. Egyptians too. It's the Levant area is like very specific, very diverse. When you go from a village to another or from city to another, you find a big difference in culture and even in accent and other stuff. So it's not as people think, it's as they imagine, but it's a very, very diverse area. Even with the wars, it's still a bit diverse.
Thank you. Well, that's not the impression you get from the media.
If you check the media, we will be like riding camels and having tents everywhere. So welcome to check the media, or you can see some bloggers, some local persons, local news. You will change some idea because media doesn't like portray the reality of any place. It just highlight the interesting news, the flashy news to sell the views. That's it.